Hi, I'm Kevin. Let me tell you about my experience with the IELTS exam. I thought I was fully prepared, but there were a few mistakes I made that cost me some important points. Mistakes that I didn't even realize I was making at the time. It was the speaking test, and I was asked to talk about a significant event in my life. I immediately thought of a trip to the mountains I took with my family. I felt like I had everything ready to say. But as soon as I started speaking, I began to hesitate. My response was full of vague statements, and I failed to provide sufficient details. Instead of describing the trip with specific examples, I just said, "It was great because we had fun." This was a huge mistake. I didn't articulate the significance of the trip clearly. I should have explained why the trip was so memorable, perhaps by mentioning the challenges we faced, the unique experience of being disconnected from technology, or how it helped me reconnect with my family. By not focusing on the details, I missed an opportunity to showcase my fluency and coherence. As the test went on, I realized another issue. When asked follow-up questions, I began to speak in generalities. For example, the examiner asked me why I enjoyed being in the mountains, and I answered, "It's peaceful." I should have expanded on that, discussing the specific tranquility of the place or how it allowed me to think clearly. The problem was that I didn't show the examiner any insight into my true feelings about the trip. I simply gave short, superficial answers that didn't allow for a deeper conversation. I also noticed that I wasn't using enough advanced vocabulary. Instead of saying, "I felt relaxed," I could have said, "I felt a sense of serenity," or "The environment was incredibly rejuvenating." By sticking to basic words, I missed out on demonstrating my lexical range, which is key in scoring well on the IELTS. By the end of the exam, I was feeling quite frustrated. I knew I had the ideas, but I wasn't expressing them in the way I should have. That's when I realized that for the IELTS speaking test, it's not just about having the right ideas, it's about how you communicate them. I had to refine my responses and make sure I included the right amount of detail, structure, and appropriate vocabulary. I had to refine my responses and make sure I included the right amount of detail, structure, and appropriate vocabulary.